I believe we have substantially heard how the crime and arrest were carried out. One thing that boggles me is why Miss Duvall would carry out this act? Robbing a bank requires planning. I can't see why she would think of doing this.
I believe there is a rather simple reason.
Oh? And what might that be?
As popular as the Super D stunt show is, Miss Duvall's stunts have been lackluster as of late. The prosecution believes that in order to pull in more ratings for the show, she decided to venture out in costume to commit robbery.
What?
Popularity only lasts so long.
Objection!
That doesn't sound right.
No.
If that's true, then what about the victim? Miss Duvall would have no reason to kill her at all. Perhaps. However, we're convinced that the killing was an accident. But the hit and run only happened because she wanted to commit robbery.
So, this murder would not have happened if she did not intend to rob the bank.
That is correct. Also, Miss Duvall's whereabouts during the show were unconfirmed by the staff. No one saw her at all during the show, so she's the likely suspect. There is also the fact that the defendant was seen leaving the stadium by the witness.
The witness saw the defendant leave the stadium?
Yes, our witness seemed to be tailing the defendant all the way to the bank. So the culprit of the crime had to come from Stunt Stadium.
Mr. Wright?
Your Honor?
The prosecution's theory is sounding more likely. So, what is your stance on the case? Do you still believe that Miss Duvall was still at the stadium during the robbery?
So, we're already up against the wall. I can't come off as weak here. I have to present a strong argument. The defense does indeed believe that the defendant was at the stadium during the crime. And this piece of evidence will help explain
The keys!
that. The Steel Samurai key. Take that! These keys will help explain what happened.
I've seen quite a number of keys presented as evidence the past few months.
Let me see. Let me think. The keys to the locker, the life key, now bike keys. I still remember.
Dear Lord. Oh, the memories of that case. Okay.
Yes.
During the show, the defendant was stated that she was looking for these bike keys. This one and only key is for the bike she was going to ride for her last stunt. She was looking for it throughout her room the entire show.
Objection!
And yet, here you are with the bike key in your possession. How is it you were able to find it when she couldn't? As it turns out, the key was stolen by fellow performer Stunt Manley. He had snuck into her room during the opening act and taken it.
Aha! I knew Manley would do something like that. Every time I watch the show, he has such a bad attitude towards Dee Dee.
Or it's because he has a crush on her and didn't want her to get hurt performing the last stunt. As hard as it might be to believe. Not knowing the key was stolen, Dara was stuck backstage searching for it. She also didn't want anyone wandering around to see her, so she secluded herself in the room. Which leads me to believe that the person who robbed the bank was not Dara Duvall. What about Stunt Manley's side of the story? Did he actually admit that he stole the bike key? He did. We confronted Mr. Manley yesterday, and he confessed to stealing the key. But this hardly changes anything. She had 3 hours to find that key. During that time, she could have devised the plan to rob the bank. If she couldn't perform that last act, putting on a show at the bank was all she could think of. I still don't get why she would think of doing that just for popularity.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't quite add up.
That's more like you're trying to beg for attention sort of deal.
I don't get that from Dara. No.
Yeah. She's more easygoing. She's more nicer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Great! Mr. Hawk is on top of things again!
I wouldn't be so sure on that.
Huh? What do you mean, Nick?
Mr. Hawk did present a likely scenario, but so did we. The robber at the bank could have been someone else and not Dara. All we have to do now is chip away at the prosecution's case with evidence. If we can keep at it, we should be able to prove that Dara is really innocent.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. You really thought this out, Nick?
So far, I'm not really convinced on either side's argument. I'll need to hear more testimony before I can hand down my verdict. Is your next witness ready, Mr. Hawk?
Can I say something before you continue?
Yes.
Something seemed a little strange.
About?
The SUV, and he's saying she, unless it was a new character. And let me think. I'm going to bet you the person's name is going to do something with the name photographer. Like, something like Chinese, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just a little thought I was thinking about.
So, next witness. He's actually on the stand right now, Your Honor. Wait, what?
Is
What?
he behind Detective Gumshoe?
Your Honor, Detective Gumshoe is an eyewitness to the robbery.
What?
It's true, sir. I was at the bank when the suspect was robbing it.
Of all the... Well,
Damn it, Gumshoe.
I guess we don't need to hear what your name and occupation is again.
Let's take it one step at a time, Detective. Tell us what you saw when you arrived at the bank.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hawk, sir.
Alright, here we go.
The bank robbery.
On the day of the crime, I was walking to the bank while on my break. When I got to the bank's ATM, I saw someone inside wearing an outfit. The bank teller had his hands held up, and that's when I knew the place was being robbed. The suspect had a gun held up, pointed at the teller, and that's all I saw her holding.
So you did see the suspect wearing the DD costume?
That's right, Your Honor. It's the same costume she wears on that show.
Incidentally, the costume worn by the defendant was found in her room. After she came back from the bank, she must have put it back in her closet.
I see. Very well then. The defense will proceed with the cross-examination.
Okay, this time, I think we may have to present evidence.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So let's see. On the day of the crime, I was walking to the bank while on my break. When I got to the bank's ATM, I saw someone inside wearing an outfit.
And that was the DD outfit.
The bank teller had his hands held up, and that's when I knew the place was being robbed. Okay.
I think you should press that after this one, maybe. I don't know.
What, this one here?
Yeah, I just want some info on this.
Okay. Hold it! How is the bank teller doing after the robbery?
Well, the guy seems to have a poor constitution. After we questioned him, he could hardly utter a word.
I would be shocked too if I had a gun held up at my face.
I've checked in on the teller, and he still seems very timid. Another reason why I decided not to call him to the stand today.
I suppose we wouldn't get much out of him in that state.
Luckily, I was there at the scene of the crime to testify for him.
I'd still take the teller as a witness over you, Gumshoe.
Oh!
The suspect had a gun held up, pointed at the teller, and that's all I saw her hold. A gun? Gun. Wait a minute.
A gun?
Yeah, a gun. I think I see a problem with this one.
Yeah. A press? Maybe? First or? Oh.
We can press if you want.
Yeah, I just want some info on this one.
Hold it!
What happened then?
I was in shock. I mean, I even forgot my PIN number for the ATM. And I forgot how much money I needed to take out.
I meant inside the bank.
Oh, right. Well, I I saw the defendant with a gun in hand and pointed at the bank teller. The teller took some cash and gave it to her.
A gun in hand, huh? Detective Gumshoe was at the scene of the crime and witnessed the robbery. And if I know Gumshoe, it's that he's going to have a lot of holes in his testimony.
Do you think Detective Gumshoe would lie about the robbery?
I don't think he would. But with his selective memory, we have to take the chance and find some contradictions.
I guess so. Yeah, the last sentence.
Yeah, it's definitely... It's got to be this one. And here's why I think there's a problem with this statement.
Oh, do you think they were holding something else?
Take another look at the picture. Tell me, does that look like a gun to you?
Oh, no, that looks like a bag.
Uh-huh.
Unless... Wait, go back. Go back for a second.
I can only see a bag. I don't see a gun.
No, I'm talking about the shadow of the arm, the left arm. I think what it looks like is that there's a little bump in front of the stomach. I think that hand is like fisted. So probably they only held the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm only seeing a bag though, so I think we should press on this one.
okay. Oh.
Oh no, did that thing glitch out again?
Oh god.
Oh boy, more technical difficulties. Give me a moment. Oh boy. Saves. Let's see, close. Hold on. Let's get back. Let me get back in. Resume. Autosave, I believe it was here. Yeah. Suspect had a gun held up, pointed at the bank, and okay. Alright, let's try this again. We're going to present the picture. Objection!
Oh.
So, you saw a gun in the defendant's hand, eh, detective?
That's right. I mean, there wasn't any other place to hold it, right?
Well, after looking at this photo, I beg to differ. Take a look at what the suspect is holding.
It seems to be a bag of some sort.
Yes, the suspect is holding what seems to be a bag in hand. But for some reason, I can't seem to see a gun at all.
What? But I saw it there. I did.
Detective, you need to learn to be a bit more specific in your testimony.
Huh? I do?
We can see that the defendant is holding a bag in her right hand. So where else could the gun have been then?
Oh yeah, that's right. She was holding the gun in her left hand. I kind of forgot if she could have held it from somewhere else.
Did you expect her to hold a gun with her foot?
Hold a gun with your foot. How?
If you got some really good toes to do it, maybe, but very, very unlikely. No, I'm sorry. Can you imagine someone trying? It's like it's like trying to use your toes to hold it together with one foot, and then using your big toe with like to pull the trigger.
It just looks like some meditation pose.
I don't know.
Pow!
Oh, God. Oh, I forgot where else she could have held it. Duh. I'm starting to wonder about Detective Gumshoe now. Jesus Christ.
Well, I can see how the detective could get confused.
That's a slight maybe?
If you could witness, please amend your testimony.
Yes, sir. The suspect was holding a gun in her left hand as she was robbing the bank.
Left hand. So that would imply that she's left-handed then. Not a lot of people are. And I kind of find another problem with that statement. I present you, Shinju, with this picture. Take a look. Can you tell how she's holding that gun?
Metal Gear Solid. Wait!
That's a right-hand way of holding it. So, I think we should present this photo.
Okay.
Objection!
I was about to say, that looks like a, Zero Susamus pose.
In a sense, yeah, it kind of does. Detective, I'd like you to look at this other photo I have here.
Another photo? How many of those do you have, pal?
Over 9,000.
Over 9,000 pictures! All in your face!
Okay. Little water.
Yes.
This one is of Dee Dee having her picture taken with some magicians.
Mr. Wright, we don't have time to look at your fan collection of Dee Dee.
No, I swear, this is evidence, Your Honor. Please, take a look at what Dee Dee is holding in the picture.
Oh my god.
Well, she seems to be holding a pistol in her hand.
That's right. And in what hand is she holding the gun with?
It looks like that the suspect is holding the gun with her right hand, I believe. It's held up on the right side, so...
Correct. Very good, Judge. You finally got something right
He gets a cookie! No, he gets a burger!
Yes.
Nick!
Burger and fries. This photo shows Dee Dee holding a gun with her right hand. Yet the person the detective claims to have seen was holding a gun with their left hand.
Right. So that means...
It means that if Miss Duvall were to hold a gun up at someone, she would have held the gun up with her right hand.
What?
Poor Gumshoe.
Order! Order! So, we are to assume that Dee Dee is actually right-handed based on this photograph? But the detective saw the culprit hold a gun with their left hand.
Wait! I really did see her hold that gun with her left hand. I'm not making it up.
No one said you were. However, this detail tells us something very important. Since we now know that Dara is right-handed, and that the suspect held a gun with their left hand at the crime scene, it's possible that the culprit was someone else entirely.
Ooh.
You would be the only one to think that. Whether the suspect was holding the gun with her left or right hand has no bearing on this case.
What?
What?
Mr. Hawk, if Miss Duvall is actually right-handed, how do you explain the suspect at the crime scene holding a gun with their left hand?
Very easily, that's how. What's he up to? The prosecution would like to submit another piece of evidence, Your Honor.
It's a pistol. Where did it come from?
This pistol was dropped at the crime scene outside of the bank. Now, Your Honor, please examine the gun for us.
Very well. Let's see it. This isn't a gun at all. It's a model.
Huh? Wait, but
What?
the suspect still held the bank teller up, so... You still don't get it, do you? The suspect had no intention to fire the gun, since it's just a model. It was
Oh.
merely used as a means of intimidation. So it didn't matter whether she held the gun with her left or right hand. She didn't require the dexterity needed for firing a gun at all.
Oh. He said you. I saw you.
With an irk at the end.
You work.
Yerk! I know, it's kind of funny.
Put cat ears on Phoenix, right? Yerk.
That would explain why the suspect held a gun with their left hand at the crime scene.
Oh boy. Every time we find something, it's turned around.
Exactly.
Ugh!
Prosecutor Hawk set a trap for me and I fell right into it.
Don't let it get you. Don't let it get you. Okay, once more. Don't let it get you down, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Detective Gumshoe, please continue your testimony.
Yes, sir, right away.